Hello, my dear students. In this lecture, we are going to understand various processes on psychometric chart. In this lecture, basically, we are going to understand 10 various processes that occurs on psychometric chart. Now, one by one, we are going to see the processes. The very first process we are going to see is sensible heating. So make a note, sensible heating. Right. Now, sensible heating is nothing but heating at constant specific humidity is called sensible heating. Right. Heating at, we can say heating at constant specific humidity. Right. Specific humidity is nothing but it is a mass of vapor divided by mass of dry air. Specific humidity is a ratio of mass of vapor to the mass of dry air that already we have defined in previous lectures. Right. And heating at constant specific humidity is called sensible heating. My dear students, example is closed vessel having moist air is heated. For example, closed vessel, closed vessel having moist air is heated, is heated. Let us understand this. Let us say you have one closed vessel, right? And it will be having moist air. This vessel contains the moist air. That means this vessel is a combination of air plus water vapor. Therefore, there will be a mass of air plus there will be a mass of vapor. Therefore, we can say total mass is nothing but mass of air plus mass of vapor. And now this vessel is heated. Now here I will supply heat to this vessel. Let us say this is a heat supplied to this vessel. Right. Now, my dear students, as it is a closed vessel, the inside air will not go outside and outside air will not enter into the vessel. That means the mass of air will remain constant, as well as the inside vapor is not going outside and outside vapor is not entering into the vessel because it is a closed vessel. Therefore, mass of vapor is also constant. That means total mass is constant. Total mass is constant. And specific humidity is nothing but mass of vapor to the mass of air. And here both mass of vapor as well as mass of air are constant. Therefore, specific humidity will be constant. And as this content is heated, therefore temperature of this content will increase. Right. As temperature is increasing, the temperature is increasing means it is a dry bulb temperature. Whenever it is called temperature, it is always dry bulb temperature. Therefore, this dry bulb temperature is increasing. Therefore, we can understand that sensible heating is nothing but dry bulb temperature will increase at constant specific humidity. So let us draw psychometric chart. We have seen psychometric chart in previous lecture. You can go in previous lecture for understanding of psychometric chart and how to draw various lines on psychometric chart, because this is very important concept for these various processes. Without previous lecture you cannot understand these upcoming lectures. So my suggestion is that go and watch psychometric chart lecture, right? Then only watch this lecture. Now here we are going to draw psychometric chart, right? Now psychometric chart is drawn for particular pressure and the chart looks like this. This is how psychometric chart looks like, right? Now on this chart, here there will be a temperature. Let us say dry bulb temperature. On x-axis there will be a dry bulb temperature. On y-axis there is a specific humidity, right? And this curved line is nothing but relative humidity is equal to 100% line. That is, this curved line is saturated line. That is, relative humidity on this line is 100%, right? Now here sensible heating is nothing but heating at constant specific humidity. So we have to keep specific humidity constant and we have to increase temperature. Therefore, the process will look like this, from initial state 1 to final state 2. This is how process will go, right? Here the specific humidity is constant. You can see here the specific humidity of the content is constant, that is omega 1 is equal to omega 2, but temperature is increasing, that is dry bulb temperature is increasing. You can see it is a dry bulb temperature 1 and dry bulb temperature 2. So directly we can say here dry bulb temperature is increasing at constant specific humidity. And my dear students, we know that dew point temperature, whenever this constant specific humidity line touches relative humidity is equal to 100% line, then we will get dew point temperature. So initially the dew point temperature is touch this one point to the relative humidity is equal to 100% line horizontally, right? Therefore the point will come like this. At this point, whatever may be the temperature recorded, this temperature is dew point temperature 1. And for second point also, if I draw horizontal line, the same point you will find, the same point you will find. Therefore dew point temperature 1 is equal to dew point temperature 2, right? Therefore my dear students, whenever specific humidity is constant, then dew point temperature is always constant. Remember this point, they are together. Whenever specific humidity is constant, dew point temperature is always constant. Now let us understand about relative humidity. Now relative humidity lines are nothing but the curved lines parallel to relative humidity is equal to 100% line are called constant relative humidity lines. So let us draw constant relative humidity lines here, right? Now at one condition, the relative humidity is like this. At one, the relative humidity phi 1 is like this, that is phi 1 is constant on this line. On this line phi 1 is constant, and phi 2, the phi 2 line like this, relative humidity 2, phi 2 is constant on this line, relative humidity 2 is constant. And my dear students, in this direction the relative humidity is going on decreasing. Therefore definitely we can say phi 1 is more than phi 2. Here definitely we can say phi 1 is more than phi 2. That means relative humidity is decreasing here. In this case relative humidity is decreasing. Now let us understand about wet bulb temperature and enthalpy. Now wet bulb temperature as well as enthalpy lines are sloping downward to the right, straight inclined line sloping downward to the right, right? So let us draw wet bulb temperature line. Now the wet bulb temperature line at condition 1 is like this. That means on this line wet bulb temperature 1 is constant, right? WBT1 is constant. Now while measuring temperature, we have to go towards saturated condition. That is, this wet bulb temperature line we have to touch with relative humidity is equal to 100% line, right? Therefore we will find one point, and if I look on x-axis corresponding to this point, I will get wet bulb temperature 1. So here there is a wet bulb temperature 1. Now for second condition, for second point, look at the wet bulb temperature. So draw a straight inclined line sloping downwards towards the right. Now this is the wet bulb temperature 2 is equal to constant line. That means on this line wet bulb temperature 2 is constant, and we have to touch this line with relative humidity is equal to 100% line. So we will find this point. So from this point, if I draw a vertical line, then I will find wet bulb temperature 2. That means this is the wet bulb temperature 2. Wet bulb temperature 2. Now you can see the wet bulb temperature 2 is more than wet bulb temperature 1. So we can directly say wet bulb temperature 2 is more than wet bulb temperature 1. Therefore wet bulb temperature, in this case wet bulb temperature is increasing. And my dear students, the enthalpy lines are constant, enthalpy lines are parallel lines to this wet bulb temperature line. So whatever effect occurs on wet bulb temperature, the same effect will be continued for enthalpy also, right? Therefore as wet bulb temperature is increasing, hence enthalpy of content will also increase, right? So these 6 points are very much important. Therefore here for sensible heating we can say, my dear students, let us write down this summary, and these 6 points are very much important, right? For sensible heating, the very first point is dry bulb temperature will increase. Dry bulb temperature will increase. Specific humidity is constant. Whenever specific humidity is constant, dew point temperature is also constant. Therefore dew point temperature will be constant, right? And relative humidity is here decreasing. Then wet bulb temperature, wet bulb temperature is increasing for sensible heating, and also enthalpy is increasing for sensible heating, right? These 6 points are very much important, and in examination they are asking maximum questions on these 6 points. That is, in examination they will mention you that for sensible heating what will happen, and there will be four options. and out of 4 options you will find any one option out of these 6. That is, they may say dry bulb temperature may increase, or specific humidity is constant, correct. Dew point temperature is constant, correct. Fire decreases, correct. Wet bulb temperature increases, correct. Enthalpy increases, correct. And out of these 6 points there will be one option, right. Now, so my dear students, these processes we have to understand on psychometric charts. So this is a very important process. So here again I am repeating this sensible heating, so that for further processes you can quickly understand the concept, right. See, if I draw psychometric chart, whenever you are drawing psychometric chart, right, on this chart, on x-axis you will find dry bulb temperature or temperature, on y-axis you will find specific humidity, and this curved line is relative humidity is equal to 100% line, that is saturated line. And sensible heating means dry bulb temperature is increasing at constant specific humidity, at constant specific humidity. So one is initial condition, two is final condition. So here you can see specific humidity is constant, but dry bulb temperature is increasing. Here dry bulb temperature is increasing. And for wet bulb temperature, we have to draw horizontal line from point 1 and point 2, and that line we have to touch with relative humidity is equal to 100% line. So that I will draw like this, and from this point whenever this touches we have to measure the temperature. Therefore for 1 as well as 2, for 1 as well as 2, the same horizontal line you will find. Therefore here dew point temperature, dew point temperature 1 is nothing but dew point temperature 2, right. Now for wet bulb temperature we have to draw straight inclined line sloping towards right, right, sloping downward towards right. So from 1 if I draw straight inclined line sloping downward towards right, right, and that line we have to touch with relative humidity is equal to 100% line, then we will get wet bulb temperature on x-axis. This is a wet bulb temperature 1. Also from 2 we have to draw straight inclined line sloping downward to the right, right, and that line we have to touch with relative humidity is equal to 100% line, and from this point we will get wet bulb temperature 2 on x-axis. So here you can see wet bulb temperature is increasing. Here you can see directly wet bulb temperature is also increasing, and whatever may be the effect on wet bulb temperature, the same effect there will be on enthalpy, right. And my dear students, whatever may be the effect on specific humidity, the same effect will be on dew point temperature, right. And for relative humidity we have to draw curved line parallel to relative humidity is equal to 100% line, right. So let us draw curved line parallel to relative humidity equal to 100% line. Therefore on this line phi 1 is constant, and on this line phi 2 is constant. And in this direction if I go downward away from the relative humidity equal to 100% line, the relative humidity is decreasing. Therefore phi 1 is more than phi 2. Therefore relative humidity is decreasing here, right. These 6 points are very much important. Now let us understand next process, that is sensible cooling. So second process is sensible cooling. Sensible cooling. Sensible cooling is exactly opposite to sensible heating. That means removing heat at constant specific humidity. Here heat is removed, removing heat at constant specific humidity, at constant specific humidity. Now whenever heat is removed, then dry bulb temperature always decreases. Whenever heat is removed, dry bulb temperature is decreasing, and it is decreasing at constant specific humidity. So the same example will be there, that is closed vessel is cooled, closed vessel is cooled, or heat is removed from the closed vessel. Now if we draw psychometric chart, the chart will look like this, and on this chart let us understand sensible cooling, right. Here this curved line is saturated line, that is relative humidity is equal to 100% line. On x-axis we are considering temperatures. If I say dry bulb temperature, on y-axis there is a specific humidity, right. Now at constant specific humidity, here horizontal line, constant specific humidity means horizontal line, temperature is decreasing. Therefore on right side there will be a point, initial condition point 1, and from point 1 to point 2 we have to go, that is right to left we have to go. Now look at the temperature at 1, that is dry bulb temperature at 1, T1. and dry bulb temperature at 2, T2. Now can I say T1 is more than T2? That means dry bulb temperature is decreasing. Here dry bulb temperature is decreasing, but at constant specific humidity, horizontal line, right? Now whenever this constant specific humidity line touches relative humidity equal to 100% line, then we will get dew point temperature. So touch this line with relative humidity equal to 100% line, so we will get dew point temperature. Here it is a dew point temperature. Now at 1 as well as at 2, the same horizontal line you will find. That means dew point temperature at 1 as well as 2 is constant, right? Therefore dew point temperature 1 is equal to dew point temperature 2. And my dear students, already in previous process I have mentioned you that whenever specific humidity is constant, then dew point temperature is always constant. So for this process dew point temperature is constant. Now let us discuss about wet bulb temperature. Now for wet bulb temperature we have to draw straight inclined line sloping downward towards right. So from 1, let us draw straight inclined line sloping downward towards right. On this line, wet bulb temperature 1 is constant. And whenever this straight inclined line touches relative humidity is equal to 100% line, we will get wet bulb temperature at this point. So you will find point at this location. And at this location, if I check temperature, then this temperature is wet bulb temperature 1. Wet bulb temperature 1. Right. Similarly, for 2, if I draw straight inclined line and touch this line with relative humidity equal to 100% line, then I will get wet bulb temperature 2. I will get wet bulb temperature 2. Wet bulb temperature 2. And my dear students, here you can see wet bulb temperature is decreasing. Therefore, for sensible cooling, wet bulb temperature is decreasing. And constant enthalpy lines are parallel lines to these wet bulb temperature lines. Therefore, whatever may be the effect on wet bulb temperature, the same effect is continued for constant enthalpy line. Therefore, here enthalpy is also decreasing. Now let us discuss about relative humidity. Now relative humidity lines are nothing but curved lines parallel to relative humidity is equal to 100% line. So let us draw these curved line parallel to relative humidity equal to 100% line. So from 1, if I draw this line from 1, the line will be like this. That is, on this line phi 1 is constant. And from 2, the curved line parallel to relative humidity equal to 100% line is like this. Phi 2 is constant. And my dear students, if I go away from relative humidity equal to 100% line, the relative humidity is decreasing. So here line 2 is close compared to line 1. Therefore relative humidity 2 is more than relative humidity 1. That is phi 2 is more than phi 1. You can say phi 2 is more than phi 1. That means here relative humidity is increasing. Phi is increasing. Now in examination, they will mention you for sensible cooling what will happen. Now out of these 6 points, they will give any one option. Third process is humidification. Humidification means adding water molecules to the air. Adding, here I am writing, adding water molecules. Adding water molecules to air at constant temperature. At constant temperature. And my dear students, whenever we talk about temperature, it is dry bulb temperature. Means in this process, water molecule is mixing, H2O is mixing with air. But at constant temperature means both will be having same temperature. That is dry bulb temperature, which is called temperature is constant. Right. Now, my dear students, we know that the specific humidity is the ratio of mass of vapor to the mass of air. Now here water molecules are added, means mass of vapor is increasing in air. In this case we can say mass of vapor is increasing, but mass of air is constant. Therefore here we can say the specific humidity is increasing at constant dry bulb temperature, right? So let us understand this process on psychrometric chart. If I draw psychrometric chart, here on psychrometric chart, on horizontal axis, that is x axis, there are temperatures. Let us say it is a dry bulb temperature, and on y axis there is a specific humidity omega, and this curved line is nothing but saturated line. that is on this line relative humidity is 100%, right? This curved line is called saturated line, which is also called relative humidity of 100% line. Now here we have to increase specific humidity by keeping dry bulb temperature constant. So the process will be like this: from initial condition 1 to final state 2, 1 to 2 we have to go. Therefore the process will be straight vertical line, from 1 to 2 straight vertical line. For this process, if I observe dry bulb temperature, see here, for 1 as well as 2, dry bulb temperature T1 is equal to T2, right? But here the specific humidity is increasing. Here you will find omega 1 and here omega 2. That means specific humidity is increasing. Therefore the first point is dry bulb temperature is constant for humidification and specific humidity is increasing. And already I have stated that whatever may be the effect on specific humidity, the same effect will be continued for dew point temperature. Therefore dew point temperature will increase. Now for finding dew point temperature, we have to draw horizontal line from state 1 and state 2, and we have to make air saturated. Therefore from 1, if I draw horizontal line, so that this line cuts the relative humidity is equal to 100% line, then I will get dew point temperature 1. Corresponding temperature is called dew point temperature 1. Similarly from point 2, if I draw horizontal line, I will get saturated air at some location, and from this point I will get dew point temperature 2, dew point temperature 2. And here you can see dew point temperature 2 is more than dew point temperature 1, right? Therefore dew point temperature is also increasing. Or else whenever specific humidity is increasing, dew point temperature is always increasing. The curved line parallel to relative humidity is equal to 100% line are called relative constant relative humidity lines. So let us understand about relative humidity. What will be the effect on relative humidity? Now initially relative humidity 1, phi 1 is like this. Phi 1 is constant on this curved line, and now the final relative humidity is phi 2, phi 2 which is constant on this line, right? Now as we go away from relative humidity is equal to 100% line, the relative humidity is decreasing. That means phi 2 is more than phi 1 here. Therefore we can say the relative humidity is increasing. In case of humidification, relative humidity is going on increasing. Now let us understand about wet bulb temperature. Now these wet bulb temperature lines are straight inclined line sloping downward towards right. So from 1 we have to draw straight inclined line sloping downward towards right, right? So from 1 the line will be like this, line will be like this. That means on this line wet bulb temperature 1 is constant, and to find wet bulb temperature the air must be saturated, that is relative humidity must be 100%. So we will find one point here, and from this point if I check x coordinate, I will get wet bulb temperature. This will be the wet bulb temperature 1. Similarly from 2, if I draw straight inclined line sloping downward towards right, this will be the wet bulb temperature 2 is equal to constant line. And whenever this wet bulb temperature 2 line touches with relative humidity is equal to 100% line, we will get wet bulb temperature at this 2. Therefore at 2 the wet bulb temperature will be, x coordinate will provide you wet bulb temperature. Here there will be a wet bulb temperature 2, WBT 2, right? Now here you can see wet bulb temperature 2 is more than wet bulb temperature 1. Therefore here wet bulb temperature is increasing. And my dear students, constant enthalpy line and wet bulb temperature line are parallel lines. That's why whatever may be the effect on wet bulb temperature, the same effect will be continued for constant enthalpy line. That is, enthalpy is also increasing. Now fourth process is dehumidification. Now dehumidification is exactly opposite to humidification. That means removing water molecules from the air at constant temperature. Here water molecules are removed, removing water molecules at constant temperature, at constant dry bulb temperature. Constant temperature is nothing but constant dry bulb temperature. So my dear students, here dry bulb temperature, which is called temperature, is constant and water molecules are removed. Now specific humidity is nothing but mass of vapor to the mass of dry air, right? Now here water molecules are removed means mass of vapor is going to decrease. Therefore as mass of vapor is decreasing, we can say specific humidity is decreasing. So let us understand this. It is exactly opposite to humidification. So let us draw the diagram, psychrometric chart. Now here on psychrometric chart, the x coordinate or horizontal axis is for temperatures. Let us say dry bulb temperature. On y-axis there is a specific humidity, vertical axis, and this curved line is nothing but saturated line, that is relative humidity is equal to 100% on this line. Now dehumidification means the dry bulb temperature we have to keep constant, that means it will be the vertical line, and specific humidity we have to decrease, that means it is vertically downward line. The process will be vertically downward. Therefore from 1 to 2 we have to move vertically downward. Now whatever may be the effect on specific humidity, the same effect is continued for dew point temperature, that already we have discussed many times. Therefore here dew point temperature is also decreasing. Now let us understand about relative humidity. Now initially relative humidity is nothing but here the lines, curved lines parallel to relative humidity is equal to 100% line are called relative humidity lines. So let us draw phi 1 line. Therefore this is relative humidity 1 line, phi 1 is constant on this line, and phi 2 line, that is relative humidity on this line is constant. Now as we go away from 100% line, the relative humidity is decreasing. Therefore here we can say phi is decreasing. Phi is decreasing because here phi 1 is closer to 100% line and phi 2 is away from 100% line. Therefore relative humidity is decreasing. Let us understand about variable temperature line. Right, variable temperature lines are inclined lines sloping downward towards the right, like this. On this line variable temperature 1 is constant. Now and here whenever this variable temperature line touches relative humidity is equal to 100% line, we have to check variable temperature. Therefore corresponding to this point we have to check x coordinate. So the variable temperature 1 you will find somewhere here. This is a variable temperature 1. Now similarly for 2, variable temperature 2, the same line we have to draw and the similar process we have to follow. Therefore the variable temperature 2 you will find somewhere here, variable temperature 2, and here you can see variable temperature is decreasing. Therefore here variable temperature is decreasing for dehumidification, and whatever may be the effect on variable temperature, the same effect is continued for enthalpy. Therefore enthalpy is also decreasing. So my dear students, here onward remember that whatever may be the effect on specific humidity, the same effect will be continued for dew point temperature, and whatever may be the effect on variable temperature, the same effect will be continued for enthalpy. So we are going to calculate only specific humidity and variable temperature, and the same we are projecting on dew point temperature and enthalpy. Right. Now let us understand the fifth process, that is heating and humidification. Now in this heating and humidification process, heating means the dry bulb temperature will increase. Heating means dry bulb temperature or temperature increases, and humidification means specific humidity increases. Right, this is the meaning of heating and humidification, that is dry bulb temperature as well as specific humidity are increasing. So let us draw psychrometric chart. Let us draw psychrometric chart. Right, now here on x-axis there will be a dry bulb temperature, on y-axis or vertical axis there will be a specific humidity, and this curved line is relative humidity is equal to 100% line, that is saturated line. Now we have to increase dry bulb temperature as well as specific humidity. Therefore the point will lie between these coordinates. Now let us say this is the initial condition 1. From 1 to 2, in this area the point will lie point 2 anywhere. Let us say point 2 is here. Now this process point 2. Now 1 to 2, for 1 to 2 process, here temperature is also increasing and specific humidity is also increasing. Therefore for heating and humidification, dry bulb temperature is increasing, specific humidity is also increasing. If specific humidity is increasing, dew point temperature is also increasing. Now let us understand about variable temperature. Now here for variable temperature we have to draw straight inclined line sloping downwards towards right, and we have to make air saturated. So from 1, if I draw straight inclined line sloping downward towards right, on this line variable temperature 1 is constant. Now whenever air becomes saturated means phi becomes 100% on this line, the corresponding temperature is called variable temperature 1. Variable temperature 1. Similar process follow for point 2. If I draw straight inclined line sloping downward towards right, on this line variable temperature 2 is constant, and we have to record variable temperature 2, we have to make air saturated. That means relative humidity must be 100% on this line. So corresponding temperature is called variable temperature 2. Variable temperature 2. Here you can find variable temperature is increasing. Therefore, for heating and humidification, variable temperature is increasing. Therefore, enthalpy is also increasing. The same effect will be there for enthalpy and variable temperature. Now, let us understand about relative humidity. Now, to understand relative humidity, let us find relative humidity at 1. So, we have to draw parallel line to relative humidity is equal to 100% line, curved line like this. On this line, phi 1 is constant. Phi 1 is constant. Whatever may be the value. Now, let us understand the process again. That is heating and humidification. The process will lie between these two lines, right? Means in this quadrant the process will lie. So let us say if I draw 1 to 2 like this, if I draw 1 to 2 like this is also heating and humidification. And for this process, let us understand what will happen to the relative humidity. See, phi 2 which is constant on this line. Now for this line, phi 2 is less than phi 1, means relative humidity is decreasing. If I consider this point 2, then relative humidity is decreasing. Let us consider another point. If I consider point 2 here, if I consider point 2 here. Now my dear students, again 1 to 2 is heating plus humidification, because temperature as well as specific humidity is increasing. Therefore, for this line, if I draw relative humidity line, that is phi 2 is constant on this line. Now for this 1 to 2 process, or let us say 2 dash, if I say 2 dash, phi 2 dash is constant. Now for this 1 to 2 dash process, relative humidity is increasing. Means first of all it was decreasing, now increasing. Now let us understand another process. Now 1 to 2 like this, let us say 2 double dash, 2 double dash, 1 to 2 double dash. Therefore we can say on this same line phi 2 double dash is also constant. Therefore which is nothing but phi 2 double dash, which is constant, which is equal to phi 1. That means for heating and humidification, the relative humidity may increase, may decrease, or may remain constant, right? Therefore relative humidity may increase, may decrease, or may remain constant. Very important statement. Many times they are asking what will be the effect on relative humidity for heating and humidification process. The answer is relative humidity may increase, may decrease, or may remain constant. That depends on the process. The example of heating and humidification is that hot water, hot water is mixed with air, is mixed with cold air, cold air. This is the example of heating and humidification. That means the temperature of water is more than temperature of air. That is dry bulb temperature. We can say dry bulb temperature. That is temperature of water is more than dry bulb temperature of air. Right. Now here, as water and air are mixing, means we can say specific humidity, which is nothing but ratio of mass of vapor to the mass of air. Therefore as water is added in the air, therefore mass of vapor is increasing, therefore specific humidity is increasing definitely. And water temperature is more than air temperature, therefore overall temperature is going to increase. For this moist air or the air, temperature is going to increase. Therefore the process is called heating and humidification. Now next process is cooling and humidification. Now in case of sixth process, that is cooling and humidification, cooling means dry bulb temperature is decreasing, right? Dry bulb temperature will decrease, and humidification means specific humidity will increase. So let us draw a psychrometric chart to understand this process. Right now from psychrometric chart, on x-axis we will get temperatures, that is let us say dry bulb temperature. On y-axis specific humidity, and curved line is saturated line, that is relative humidity is equal to 100% line. Now here we have to decrease dry bulb temperature and we have to increase specific humidity. Therefore the temperature is decreasing. Now one, temperature is decreasing and specific humidity is increasing. Therefore from 1, in this quadrant between these two lines the process will lie, right? Now from 1 to 2, let us understand. Let us say from 1 to 2 like this, 1 to 2. The process will be like this. Now, as specific humidity is increasing, therefore dew point temperature is also increasing. Always dew point temperature is increasing. Now let us understand about the relative humidity. Now initially the relative humidity phi1 is like this. Now relative humidity phi2 is like this. Now phi2 is closer to relative humidity is equal to 100% line. Therefore relative humidity is increasing. We can say here relative humidity is increasing. Now let us understand about variable temperature. Now we have to understand about variable temperature. What will be the effect on variable temperature? Now for variable temperature, we have to draw straight inclined line sloping downwards towards right. On this line, variable temperature is constant. Now let us say from 1, the variable temperature line is like this. That is variable temperature on this line is constant. Now for 2 also same line. For 2 also you will find same line. See, for 1 as well as 2 you will find same variable temperature, right? Therefore in this, for this process variable temperature is constant. Again we can check another process. Let us say 1 to 2, 1 to 2 dash like this, right? 1 to 2 dash like this. Now this is also cooling and humidification, because temperature is decreasing, dry bulb temperature is decreasing, and humidification, that is specific humidity, is increasing. Now for this process, if I draw parallel line to variable temperature 1 line, then let us say this is a variable temperature 2 line. Now here variable temperature is increasing. You can observe here. Now variable temperature is increasing. Again from 1 to 2 we can draw line like this also. 1 to 2 double dash, let us say 1 to 2 double dash, right? Now again for this line, if I draw straight inclined line sloping downwards towards right, on this line variable temperature 2 is constant, right? Now for this variable temperature 2 is somewhere here, means variable temperature is decreasing. Now here 1 to 2 or 1 to 2 dash or 1 to 2 double dash, all are cooling and humidification. And for 1 to 2 dash variable temperature is increasing, for 1 to 2 variable temperature is constant, and for 1 to 2 dash variable temperature is decreasing. Therefore for cooling and humidification, variable temperature may increase, may decrease, or may remain constant. And whatever may be the effect on variable temperature, the same effect will be continued for enthalpy. Therefore for cooling and humidification, enthalpy may increase, may decrease, or may remain constant. Example of cooling and humidification is that cold water and air are mixing. Cold water and hot air are mixing together. Now my dear students, here as water temperature is less than air temperature, that is temperature of water is less than hot temperature air, or temperature of air, that means dry bulb temperature, then definitely the air temperature will decrease, that is dry bulb temperature is going to decrease, right? And water is added into the air, therefore specific humidity is increasing. But my dear students, in this case this temperature of water must be more than dew point temperature. Very important condition, very important condition. This temperature of water must be more than dew point temperature, because if temperature of water is less than dew point temperature, then condensation may begin, right? If I consider temperature of water less than dew point temperature, then there will be a condensation. Dew point temperature is nothing but temperature at which condensation starts or formation of dew starts. And if temperature of water is less than dew point temperature, there will be a condensation. Therefore there will be a removal of water molecule instead of adding them. Are you getting this? Therefore for cooling and humidification, here you have to humidify the air, and to make air humid we have to add water molecule, we have to not remove water molecules. Therefore the dew point temperature must be less than temperature of water, must be less than dry bulb temperature. Then only, because of this there will be a cooling, and because of this there will be a humidification, right? Process number 7 is cooling and dehumidification. Now my dear students, cooling means dry bulb temperature must decrease, and dehumidification means specific humidity must decrease, right? So let us understand this process on psychrometric chart. Cooling and dehumidification. Now my dear students, cooling means from 1 dry bulb temperature, that is dry bulb temperature on x-axis, specific humidity on y-axis, and curved line is saturated line, that is relative humidity is equal to 100% line. Let us consider initial state, point 1 is here. Now our target is to decrease dry bulb temperature, therefore there will be a horizontal line like this, and to decrease specific humidity there will be a vertical line downward like this. Therefore between these two lines, horizontal and vertical, all the processes are cooling and dehumidification. So let us understand the process number 1 to 2, 1 to 2 like this, 1 to 2, right? It is cooling and dehumidification. Therefore cooling means the dry bulb temperature is decreasing, dehumidification means specific humidity is decreasing, therefore dew point temperature is also decreasing, dew point temperature is also decreasing, because specific humidity and dew point temperature comes together. Now wet bulb temperature, look at this. Wet bulb temperature, initially this was the line and now this is the line, right? Therefore we can see the initial wet bulb temperature, wet bulb temperature 1 is more than wet bulb temperature 2, wet bulb temperature 2. Therefore here wet bulb temperature is decreasing, wet bulb temperature is decreasing, therefore enthalpy is also decreasing because they comes together. Now let us understand about relative humidity. Now my dear students, for 1 to 2 relative humidity, let us say this is the line. On this line phi 1 is constant, relative humidity 1 is constant, curved line. Now for point 2, the phi 2 line will be like this, phi 2 constant line. Now if I compare 1 and 2, relative humidity is increasing. Let us say the process 1 to 2 is like this, 1 to 2 process is like this. Let us say it is 2 dash, right? Again 1 to 2 dash is cooling as well as dehumidification. Now but for this process the relative humidity is constant, right? That is phi 1 is equal to constant is equal to phi 2 dash, right? Again let us say 1 to 2 dash or 1 to 2 double dash process is like this, 1 to 2 double dash. Again for 1 to 2 double dash, the cooling, there will be a cooling as well as there will be a dehumidification. It is a cooling and dehumidification, and for this understand relative humidity. Now here this will be the line phi 2 dash, constant line. Therefore for 1 to 2 relative humidity is increasing, for 1 to 2 dash relative humidity is constant, and for 1 to 2 double dash relative humidity is decreasing. Therefore for cooling and dehumidification the relative humidity may increase, may decrease, or may remain constant. Now example of cooling and dehumidification is that humid air is passing over, is passing over coil having temperature of coil, having temperature of coil less than dew point temperature of air. That is temperature of coil is less than dew point temperature of air. Now my dear students, as temperature of coil is less than dew point temperature, here temperature of coil is less than dew point temperature, and we know that dew point temperature is less than dry bulb temperature always, right? Now as temperature of coil is less than dew point temperature, therefore let us say here there is a coil, let us say here there is a coil and humid air is passing over this coil, humid air is passing over this coil, and this humid air will be having some dry bulb temperature, right? And as this humid air comes in contact with coil, the air temperature drops below dew point temperature, and whenever air temperature becomes less than dew point temperature, then condensation begins, and condensation means removing water molecules from the air, and whenever we are removing water molecules from the air, then there will be dehumidification, right? And as dry bulb temperature is more than coil temperature, there will be a cooling, right? See here, because temperature of coil is less than dry bulb temperature, then there will be a cooling, that is dry bulb temperature will decrease. After mixing, dry bulb temperature will decrease, and as temperature of coil is less than dew point temperature, therefore whenever water molecules comes in contact with coil, there will be a condensation and there will be a removal of water molecules, therefore there will be a dehumidification. Now process number 8 is heating and dehumidification, heating and dehumidification, right? Now heating and dehumidification meaning, heating means dry bulb temperature increases, heating means dry bulb temperature increases, and dehumidification means specific humidity decreases. So let us draw a psychrometric chart for this process. Now on psychometric chart, process 1 to 2 must be like that. We have to increase the dry bulb temperature and specific humidity must be decreased. Now on x-axis there is dry bulb temperature or temperature. On y-axis there is a specific humidity. Curved line is nothing but relative humidity is equal to 100% line, that is saturated line. Now if I, let us say point 1 is here. If I want to increase dry bulb temperature, horizontal line. If I decrease specific humidity, vertical line, from this vertically downward. Therefore between these two lines any process will be heating and dehumidification. Let us understand process 1 to 2. 1 to 2 like this. Now for 1 to 2, dry bulb temperature is increasing, specific humidity is decreasing, therefore dew point temperature is also decreasing. Now let us understand about relative humidity. For 1, the relative humidity phi 1, and for 2, the relative humidity phi 2. Here you can understand the phi 1 is closer to relative humidity is equal to 100% line, means relative humidity is decreasing here, right? Relative humidity is decreasing here. Now let us understand about variable temperature, right? Now for variable temperature lines are straight inclined lines sloping downwards towards right. Let us say this is the variable temperature line. Variable temperature at 1 is equal to constant. Whenever this variable temperature line touches with relative humidity is equal to 100% line, we will get corresponding temperature as variable temperature 1. So this temperature is called variable temperature 1. Variable temperature 1. And at 2 as well as 1, the same variable temperature you will find. Now let us understand another process. Let us say 1 to 2 dash, like this. 1 to 2 dash. Now again for 1 to 2 dash, there is a heating and there is a dehumidification, right? Now but for this process, if I check variable temperature, for this process variable temperature is decreasing. Now let us check another process. Let us say 1 to 2 double dash. 1 to 2 double dash. Again for this process 1 to 2 double dash, here dry bulb temperature is increasing, means heating, and specific humidity is decreasing, means dehumidification. But variable temperature for 1 to 2 dash, variable temperature is increasing. Variable temperature is increasing. Therefore for heating and dehumidification, variable temperature may increase, may decrease, or may remain constant. Therefore the same effect will be on enthalpy, that is for heating and humidification enthalpy may increase, may decrease, or may remain constant. Now example is, here the moist air is heated and simultaneously water molecules are removed. Right or wrong? The moist air is heated, means dry bulb temperature is increasing, heating, and simultaneously water molecules are removed, means dehumidification. For this we have to mix hot dry air and moist air, right? We have moist air, let us say we have moist air. So add dry air in this moist air, and this dry air is hot, this dry air is hot, and this moist air is cold, right? Whenever moist air and dry air are mixing, right, whenever moist air and dry air are mixing, specific humidity is nothing but mass of vapor divided by mass of air, and here air we are adding, therefore mass of air is increasing but mass of vapor is same, therefore the specific humidity will decrease, and here the temperature of dry air is more than moist air, therefore this moist air temperature will increase, therefore dry bulb temperature will increase. Say the temperature of dry air which is mixing with moist air is more than dry bulb temperature. Dry bulb temperature. Next psychometric process is chemical dehumidification. Now my dear students, we know that dehumidification means specific humidity decreases, right? Dehumidification means specific humidity decreases, that is removing water molecules, or water vapor from the air. Removing water vapor from the air is called dehumidification. And chemical dehumidification means by using chemicals removing water vapor from the air. By using chemicals, right? By using chemicals removing water molecules or water vapors from the air is called chemical dehumidification. And my dear students, the principle is absorption. Here the principle of this process is absorption, right? Now these chemicals used will absorb the water molecules present in the air, hence the principle is called absorption. My dear students, the chemicals like silica gel, let us say silica gel, or calcium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide, or activated alumina, activated alumina, alumina. These chemicals have ability to absorb water molecules from the air, right? If I use silica gel or calcium hydroxide or activated alumina, these chemicals have ability to absorb water molecules from the air. Hence the process is called chemical dehumidification. And remember, my dear students, during chemical dehumidification, dry bulb temperature always increases and enthalpy is always constant. Enthalpy is always constant. Therefore, during chemical dehumidification, as here we are mixing chemicals, because of the reactions or because of the process, always dry bulb temperature increases and enthalpy remains constant. And here, as it is dehumidification, therefore specific humidity decreases. So let us understand this process, right? On psychrometric chart, if I draw psychrometric chart, on this psychrometric chart, on x-axis we have temperatures, let us say dry bulb temperature. On y-axis we have specific humidity, and this curved line is relative humidity is equal to 100% line, that is saturated line, right? Now here we have to increase dry bulb temperature keeping enthalpy constant, and constant enthalpy lines are sloping downward towards right. Straight inclined lines sloping downward towards right are called constant enthalpy lines. So let us draw this line. Here this line is constant enthalpy line, and on this line we have to increase the temperature. Therefore the condition 1 will be here, this will be the 1, and process point 2 will be here. Therefore 1 to 2, this 1 to 2 process is called chemical dehumidification. So my dear students, during chemical dehumidification we can say dry bulb temperature is increasing, right? Here we are moving towards right, means dry bulb temperature is increasing, and here specific humidity is decreasing, and whatever may be the effect on specific humidity, the same effect is continued for dew point temperature. Therefore dew point temperature is also decreasing, they are together with each other, right? Now here enthalpy is constant, and whatever may be the effect on enthalpy, the same effect is continued for wet bulb temperature. Therefore wet bulb temperature is also constant here. Now let us discuss about relative humidity. Now at 1, the relative humidity line, that is curved parallel lines parallel to the relative humidity is equal to 100% line. Here phi 1 is constant on this line, and phi 2 at 2 point, phi 2 is constant, right? These curved lines parallel to relative humidity is equal to 100% line are called constant relative humidity lines. Now here phi 1 is close to 100% and phi 2 is away from 100%, means phi 1 is more than phi 2. Therefore the relative humidity here is decreasing. For chemical dehumidification, relative humidity is decreasing. Now the last process in today's lecture is adiabatic mixing of two fluids. Here adiabatic mixing of two fluids, of two moist air streams, two fluids, or we can say two moist air streams. Let us say from one channel the moist air is coming, right, and from another channel another moist air is coming. These are the two moist airs coming from two different channels. Let us say this is a 1 and it is inlet, and at 2 also there is a inlet, right? Now and they are mixing together and coming out as a single stream at 3 is exit, right? Now here they are mixing adiabatically. Adiabatic is nothing but there is no heat transfer. Adiabatic means there is no heat transfer, that is insulation is provided. On these processes there is a insulation, means there is no heat transfer from inside of system to the outside and from outside of the system to inside. Heat cannot enter into the system and heat cannot leave the system. This is called adiabatic process. That is, in adiabatic process heat loss is zero, right? Now let us say at inlet, that is at 1 the moist air is entering into the system. Let us say the moist air will be having mass m1, specific humidity omega 1, temperature T1, that is dry bulb temperature, and enthalpy H1, and from 2 again another stream of moist air is entering. As it is moist air, therefore it will be having mass M2, specific humidity omega 2, dry bulb temperature T2, and enthalpy H2, and they are mixing together, and from 3 they will come out. So from 3, let us say mass M3 is coming out, then with specific humidity omega 3, with temperature T3, and with enthalpy H3. Now, as moist air is mixing, this specific humidity is nothing but ratio of mass of water vapor present in the dry air to the mass of dry air, that is mass of vapor divided by mass of dry air. This is called specific humidity. Now, as at 1 as well as at 2 there is a moist air, therefore this m1 mass of total mass of at 1 will be the summation of mass of vapor and mass of air at 1. Therefore we can say m1 is equal to mass of air 1 plus mass of vapor 1. Similarly m2 is nothing but, here at 2 there will be a vapor plus air mixture, therefore m2 is nothing but mass of air 2 plus mass of vapor 2, right. Similarly m3 at exit, m3 will be mass of air at 3 plus mass of vapor at 3, which is nothing but m3 is equal to mass of air 3 plus mass of vapor 3, right. So we can say the specific humidity 1 is nothing but mass of vapor 1 divided by mass of air 1. Similarly specific humidity 2 is mass of vapor 2 divided by mass of air 2, and similarly specific humidity 3 is mass of vapor 3 divided by mass of air 3, right. Now my dear students, here we have to apply steady flow energy equation. Now already you have learned this steady flow energy equation in first law of thermodynamics in thermodynamics, basic thermodynamics subject, right. Already this you have seen in first law of thermodynamics, that is basic thermodynamics subject. And as per this steady flow energy equation, the total mass entering must be equal to total mass leaving. This is called mass balance. Therefore first is mass balance, right. Now as per the steady flow energy equation, total mass entering into the system must be equal to total mass leaving the system. Therefore we can say m1 plus m2 is equal to m3. Similarly we can say mass of air 1 plus mass of air 2 is equal to mass of air 3, and mass of vapor 1 plus mass of vapor 2 is equal to mass of vapor 3, right. This is how we have to do mass balance. Again in a steady flow energy equation you have learned energy balance. There is a energy balance also, and as per energy balance let us apply energy balance, steady flow energy equation for energy balance, right. Number 2, energy balance. Now as per this energy balance, total energy entering into the system must be equal to total energy leaving the system. Therefore energy at 1 is m1h1, energy at 2 is m2h2, and energy at 3 is m3h3. Therefore we can say m1h1 plus m2h2 is equal to m3h3. This is called energy balance, right. Now let us apply another equation, that is water balance. Now in this process we have to learn water balance, because mass balance and energy balance you have already learned in first law of thermodynamics, which is called steady flow energy equation. This steady flow energy equation is a first law of thermodynamics for open system. Now here we have to understand water balance. Third is water balance. Because water balance we have to do because it is a mixture of dry air and water vapor. So what, as per water balance, the equation is m1 omega 1 plus m2 omega 2 is equal to m3 omega 3, right, where omega is specific humidity at particular location. Now at the end of lecture, my dear students, I want to tell you one interesting fact. In winter season you might have heard about fog or mist, right, or you have seen this fog or mist, you have seen this, right. Now what is this actually, fog or mist? My dear students, whenever relative humidity becomes more than 100%, then it is called fog or formation of fog, right. Early morning you can see this fog, right. Now in Delhi also, right now also in Delhi there is a lot of fog, or in northern region there is a lot of fog, and again in various states in early morning there is a fog, right. Now why it happens? Whenever relative humidity becomes more than 100%, there it results in fog. Now why the fog occurs? Now let us say understand from psychometric chart. Let us say this is psychometric chart. On x-axis there is a dry bulb temperature or temperature, on y-axis there is a specific humidity, and this is a saturated line, that is relative humidity is equal to 100% line or saturated line, right. Now whenever high relative humidity, and high temperature, that is high dry bulb temperature air mixes with, whenever this air mixes with high relative humidity and low temperature air, then it results in fog or mist. Now let us understand this. Whenever high relative humidity means near to phi is equal to 100% line. Let us say we will get this point, high relative humidity, high temperature point. Let us say this is a high relative humidity, high temperature point, point number 1, right? Point number 1, where there is a high relative humidity, high temperature. Now high relative humidity, low temperature. Now second is high relative humidity, low temperature here. So the point will be here. Let us say second point. Now whenever this point number 1 or condition number 1 mixes with condition number 2, where low temperature but relative humidity is again high, right, then it results in fog or mist. Let us join them 1 and 2 together. If I join 1 with 2, see here, at one location the relative humidity becomes more than 100%, right? Relative humidity becomes more than 100%, and such condition is called formation of fog or mist. Now yellow lights are called fog lights, because these yellow lights can penetrate into the fog. Thank you, dear students. These all 10 processes are very much important for competitive exam point of view. They can ask you any question out of these 10 processes, or there will be more questions on this topic. Thank you, dear students. In next lecture, we will start bypass factor and contact factor.